Hello friends, Mr. E here, and today we are going to be talking about maps. It has been a good while since I've talked about all these maps in the game, and there's like, what, 20, there's like 20 normal maps, and then there's 2 of these operations maps. Not a whole lot has changed in terms of our actual quantity of maps since we last had them, but a lot has changed about how these maps play because they have gone back in and they've made some of these absolutely crazy when it comes to upper difficulties in the game, especially Havoc. So I'll try to give my opinion as a mostly Havoc player on these. And there's definitely a bias here. There's definitely certain maps that are way easier. So if you're a certain player who thinks that like most of your Havoc difficulty or whatever game mode you're going to play is going to be decided by just how well you play, I guess that's true, but also certain maps are just incredibly difficult. So if you've ever been beat down on any of these, you might know, you might understand what the community sentiment is at the end of this. So it's going to be sort of a tier list thing, and what I wanted to do is I didn't want to rank these in terms of just how difficult they are. I actually wanted to rank them in terms of 2 very important factors. So on our y-axis here, or up and down, we're going to have the difficulty, and on our x-axis we're going to be ranking for the fun level, right? So there can be difficult maps that are still fun, there can be easy maps that are not fun, and there can be easy maps that are fun. There can be hard maps that are hell, that suck to go through, and that's what we're going to be categorizing them into. So let's go ahead and review the categories I'll be allocating these maps into, and I'm also going to be flying through a portion of the map so you can have a better image of which exactly the one I'm talking about. You'd hopefully refresh your brain. So at the bottom down here we have, let's talk about the fun first. So maps I actually want to play. There's not that many, but there are certain maps that honestly, like, this one has some pretty interesting little like set pieces, and there's maybe like some very cool areas to fight in. None of the events overstay their welcome. That's usually a pretty big element in terms of making a map pretty fun. There are certain maps where the events go on forever. They just take so goddamn long to complete, and it's like really boring. And yeah, look, that's gonna dock you points, but there are certain maps that I do want to play, and I wish we could see more of that style. Behind that, we have a couple of cool parts. There's maybe a couple of elements in this that I really do enjoy, and yeah, I don't have anything. This is kind of like the neutral category. Beyond that, mostly annoying. There's maybe certain locations in the level where I actually do feel like you get some good fights, but most of the time it's like the enemies can be in all these obnoxious spots, and it's just like not really all that fun, especially for like builds that are melee and stuff. That tends to be a flaw that a lot of these maps run into, is they're super not melee friendly. And then finally, I'd rather play expeditions. There's a couple of maps in this game that are just so like, they're such a slog to get through. They're ugly, and they are like, they overstay their welcome, and the events and shit are just annoying to fucking do. Yeah, those ones are, I would rather play expeditions. Maybe not literally, but you get the implication with that. Let's talk about the difficulty. This is probably like the more important thing, especially if you are trying to climb Havoc. You should be well aware that there is a very stark difference in terms of difficulty for certain maps in the game, and so I'll be very clear about which ones are going to be easier or harder. That way, if you're trying to climb Havoc and you really want to play on the easiest maps, then you can pick those if you got one on your team, or if you just really want to challenge yourself, you can play on a hard one. So first we have Cakewalk. Pretty much exactly what it sounds like, right? There are like, I think 2-ish maps in the game that I genuinely think that they need some tuning up, because they are just so simple. Like, there's large portions of them where nothing challenging can really happen. And so yeah, that's there at Cakewalk. Beyond that, challenging but fair, again, our neutral category, where we are just like, that's perfectly fine. Beyond that, we have hell. This is this is hell. I mean, it sucks. Like, this place sucks, and I will avoid this map if at all possible. And beyond that, hell would be preferable, where yeah, this is cursed. Like, there's a couple maps that are just beyond cursed, whether it is the actual design of the map or something about this map that makes the AI get AI psychosis and go fucking insane and try to kill you at several points. That is definitely a thing I've been noticing lately, and I have no idea what that is, but there are maps that have that happen more often than not, and I don't know what the fuck is going on there. So I'll be sure to call that out when I see it so you can be ready for it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I guess I'll just go with whatever's grabbed on my cursor here, which is Ascension Riser 31. And let's go ahead and pop over to our Darktide. Where is it? There it is. Okay, and we can load into Ascension Riser here, and we'll play a little game. So Ascension Riser, this map is long as hell. It is super duper long. That is probably my number 1 thing that I think about this map every time I see it come up is like, goddamn, I'm settling in for at least a 45 minute game. It's gonna be a real slog here, and a lot of the difficulty of this map can be that, like, there's a couple of very difficult sections like right at the very end of the level, and even outside of that, you have some very questionable locales. So this is the intro to the level, and we go across this bridge over here. This is a really difficult area, by the way. Let me know in the comments if you're going to see me do like a breakdown of like all the difficult positions and stuff in maps. But yeah, this first area, I find a lot of times like players will like shoot shit there, and they'll pull it, and it'll blow up, and then you go through here, and then you go over here, and then yeah, this mission, it doesn't load everything if I do it this way, but this is the mission with the trains, where you move the trains out of the way and then progress through like that. So hopefully that helps you to visualize this mission a little bit more. But the ultimate goal of Ascension Riser is, isn't this the mission that has the that you go out where you come in? So Ascension Riser, yeah, here it is. So Ascension Riser, you actually end up over here to extract. So here's your extraction. You are going in there and getting that core out of that like big lifting, like turning platform. And that event sucks. That event takes like an hour, and I really don't like it. Granted, there is, as far as I can imagine. Oh yeah, no, the train mission at the middle kind of sucks too. Yeah, this map's not going to get a very good review now that I'm thinking about it. I'm not very fond of what I'm thinking about so far. Let's go ahead and position all these just kind of up here out of the way for a moment, and we'll scale these down as necessary. So this mission here, geez, it's so long is the thing. Like, and it wraps up with like the most boring event maybe of any mission. The fact that this thing is like, it's like at least 10 minutes of just sitting there waiting for this stupid thing to turn. So that really sucks in terms of the funness. I'm trying to think if there's any like really fun points. Nah, I think this one is actually going to be definitely over here in terms of fun. I think I almost definitely would rather play Expeditions than play on this map, just because the train event at the mid mission is so interminably long. It's like, put the cells in, wait for the goddamn trains, then hack the thing, wait for that. Entire time you're just getting shot by like boring little dudes. It's just a slog. And then yeah, and then you just have like, I don't know. I don't think there's really any area in this map where I'm super excited. I don't know what it is that feels so long about this map, because I'm like running through it in my head. It doesn't seem that long, but yeah, it ends up being like fucking 40 plus minutes long every single time. So I would say that I would rather play Expeditions than this thing. As far as difficulty though, this has gotta be up here, somewhere around this tier of hell. I need to find a place to put all this shit that's not like right there. It's definitely close to hell tier, probably comfortably in there somewhere. So there's Ascension Riser for you. Ascension Riser 31. I'd rather play Expeditions, and I feel like I'm in hell when I'm playing it somewhere around that level of difficulty. Because yeah, it's just a really difficult map. It's a really long, and one devastating mistake and you are reset forever, and that really sucks. Next up, we have Silo Cluster 1866A. Oh my fucking god. I'm glad we're getting to this one sooner rather than later, I guess. This is one of the hardest maps in the entire game, so you know where it's going in terms of difficulty already. This map is absolutely brutal, and you'll know it as soon as you see it. Is that going to crash my game? I think it might, because I was in third person. Yeah, we'll get it loaded back up. So anyway, yeah, this map is absolutely devastatingly brutal. It opens up with a staircase that does like a switchback back and forth, and that thing sucks. That thing is terrible to fight your way down, because every gunner in the entire area is lighting you up, peppering you, and then you proceed into some of the most unforgiving terrain I could potentially imagine. Pretty much like half of this level takes place on some sort of catwalk that's super narrow and is filled with gunners, and you also have the threat of being knocked over the side or falling down some hole in the concrete. The entire first portion of this map is really, really super cursed for that sort of stuff, where like your biggest danger is just getting like blown off the edge of the map by like bursters or barrels or whatever, or a charging plague ogre, and there's really almost like no play space at all. It's probably one of my least favorite design maps for that, because it has like these very long, narrow areas, which gives you the worst of both worlds, where not only is it like narrow and you don't have a lot of space to move around when you are into a combat, but like the enemies can see you from super, super far away, as opposed to some more open maps where you have a lot of like lateral movement that you can do. That generally is better on those sort of maps. So yeah, this map here, where you go up this way and you come across here, and this fucking staircase right here, this is hell. I hate this thing. This is like so many groups die here, and the thing I really, 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 really hate about this map is the floor. It's so uneven. There's so many little like things you can like trip and fall on all the time. There's so many little like boxes and knickknackeries in the way. This is something they used to do with like very early Darktide map design. Like this is one of the original maps. It wasn't released later, and there's so much like bullshit that I'm pretty certain, like if I came over here and tested, I'm pretty certain that like some of these lips on these concretes and stuff are actually like texture, like you would get caught on them and get tripped. And then you get to this part here, and this part here is super narrow, as I said before. Just fall to your death off of all these sides. This respawn point is up here. There's a ton of lit barrels, and you'll fall to your death off this side. And then it's like also super dark. So, I'm playing with like a extra boosted brightness and saturation and stuff, but you literally like can't even tell like half the time. Like right here, also, by the way, there's just a hole. Where is it? Isn't there just like a hole in the floor here that you can just fall through? I mean, people fall off this hole all the time, but I swear that maybe they patched it. But yeah, there's like a hole, at least used to be a hole, like just right here randomly, that you would just like slip down, and it was right next to the door. Maybe it's this here, but yeah, I definitely remember it being like right there. So yeah, all this is like ramshackle shit in the shadows. It's terrible. And then yeah, then you go into like more, and it's just more of that terrain all the way through the map, and it has the elevator sort of thing, the holdout at the elevator where you have to go down the elevator at the midsection, and this map ends with an event where you have to purify like water or something. It's like fucking Fallout 3's ending. And you have to kill 3 those eye tentacle pustule things. And it's like, it's horrible. That arena is so exposed. There's nowhere to cover. There's like 18 different spawn points for enemies, and they're always all the small shooters. It sucks. I hate this map. Like it's just, I don't know if any of it is fun. I am going to put this in the absolute doggiest dog tier. I really, really, really do not like Silent Cluster. It is completely overtuned in terms of difficulty. It's ugly. It's just ugly, and it's super boring. The elevator in the middle takes forever, and nothing happens. Like, if you can make it there, you at least get 5 minutes to go, like, take a piss or whatever, I guess. But yeah, it's super, super boring waiting on the elevator in the middle, and then it just ends up making the game forever long. And again, super long hallways with gunner fire. The bridge is super long. There's that big long hallway right before the end event. Fuck this thing. I hate that map. Now let's go into a map I actually like, Clandestine Gloriana. Let's go ahead and give this thing map I actually want to play in terms of, it's somewhere here in terms of the fun level. This map is really pretty, and it actually, let me make certain I give myself back to my body this time so I don't freeze the game. Uh-oh. Ow. Oh, geez, okay, well, that's one way to die. I didn't know you could teleport like that. Yeah, this map is actually really pretty, and I tend to like it a lot. It's very different feeling. Now, you know, haters will complain about the start of the map, right? You know the one. Clandestine Gloriana, very famous for its first open area, the walk along the side of a cliff and hope there's not a barrel that's lit next to you area. Honestly, I don't hate that all that much, and once you are past that point, it gets like a lot better. So yeah, you go this way, and then you go through here, and you go out here, and yeah, here you go, this area, you know the one. And so yeah, this map, it has this torturous spot here, but honestly, like, this is a novel challenge into itself, right? This is not something they've explored in any other levels, like having very obvious like limitations to your space. And one thing I like about this as opposed to the last one is that even though it is kind of a long, narrow area, it's broken up so that gunners can't shoot you the entire length of the thing, right? You have somewhere to hide, and you have somewhere you can like kind of circle around generally. You have like a high and a low path, and it becomes very tactical as to how you deal with stuff from there. And then it goes on to the, going up the, what is it called? The Mobian steel, like manufactorum and turning all the machines and breaking the ice. I think it's very novel. I like that the end event on this map has like a couple different ways it can configure. Like there's different tasks it can have you do. Usually the end event isn't very hard on this map, but it's at least like, it's at least relatively fun to smash all the ice on the machines and go and like, collect the battery packs. It doesn't, you're not just waiting around. That's the sort of events I really hate, is when there's a certain amount of time you must wait. You must do a holdout. I like the events where if you can like coordinate and do the thing way faster, it's over sooner. And that's what this map can do, because you have that mid event where you have to turn the breakers and go and like reset them as they're like shocking. And if you can like hit them as soon as they turn on, you'll get through that way quicker. You'll go through the tram. Yeah, I think this map is pretty. I think it feels different playing this one as opposed to a lot of other maps. And I like the story that it tells. I wish there was more like it. This was the second to last map they ever made, and that's been like almost 2 years now. So we'll see if they decide to ever return to form with that. And so we, in terms of like difficulty, I will give this one. It's somewhere between here. It's maybe not hell difficulty. I don't think there's anything super difficult. Once you're past the first like a little bridge area where you, or like the edge of cliff area where you can get yeeted off, it's not actually that scary. Like there's not all that much that's going on that's like all that spooky. And even like in the more rippy areas, like the middle event, right at the bottom of that slope there's a respawn point right in the arena. It's not super punishing. So yeah, usually my groups lose this immediately, or they don't lose it at all. It's sort of how I feel like once you got past that, you're kind of on running away, and you're gonna win from there. Okay, now with that being said, let's go on to what do we got? Excise Vault Spireside 13. Okay, all right. Oh God, we're gonna do that thing again. Okay, let's not splat this time. Excise Vault Spireside 13. I really do not like sand maps. I guess I'm just like Anakin Skywalker like that. Most of these maps I really dislike. They're just junk. This one is really bad in terms of those. I'm gonna run forward a little bit here. I forget what my teleport button is. Is it V? Nope. Is it period? Nope. It's somewhere here. We'll find it eventually. I don't know. We'll just run through. But yeah, anyway, so this map is one of the sand maps. I hate sand maps. There's far too many of these things, and this one is maybe my least favorite of all of them. I'm just trying to get far enough forward to load the next area, and that should be good. All right, we'll pause there, and we'll do a little flying around. Okay, so yeah, this one starts in this area, and then you go through this way, and you go in here, and you go down here, and this is the one with that giant outside area. It's probably not going to be loaded, is it? Yeah, but you know what you know the one where there's this big, massive open outside area that has the big thing you lower into place. And most importantly of all, I wonder if you can like get there throughout the map. Yeah, these things. Fuck this area. You know the one it's like inside, and there's a bunch of sand and stuff. Wait, if I like teleport here. Hold on a second. What happens if I... Oh, wait, no, I teleported myself back to the body. Hold on. I think we might be able to do this. Either that or it'll crash the game. One of the other guys. Let's roll them bones. Okay, where was it? It's over here. Okay, so if we go here, and then unpause the game. Didn't work. But you know what I mean. Like I'm just like falling now. So yeah, this area sucks. I hate it. This event takes forever. There's like hacking terminals in this room, and I swear there's 4 of them, and they go off. They go off so much. You're in this room for at least 10 minutes. It's a super boring holdout against a bunch of small enemies, and it also is just very open. For whatever reason, I tend to lose a ton of games in that room. I think players just get like bored and they get lazy. And then this event wraps up with the one where you go around and you collect all the cells. I'm trying to see if I can see any of the props for it anywhere in the level. It must be somewhere like around here. But yeah, you collect all like the sample capsules and you deposit them into that center thing that shoots them up, and it's just not very fun in my opinion. There's not. Oh, here it is. This thing. This is the one that ends with. Yeah, so this is what the mission ends with, is doing that, and then you escape through this thing over here, and then you go out this way, and this is your escape elevator right here. So yeah, this is this map sucks. I really do not like this map. I don't like I mean, the mid-event is okay, but I just really hate all the fighting zones. No, not the mid-event, sorry. The waiting for the big elevator thing that comes down, the, I guess, pre-mid-event is fine, but the actual waiting on the stupid hacking skull totem thing, whatever, the servo skull pillar, fuck this. I hate this. This sucks, and then the rest of the map is like whatever. So as far as difficulty, this map is also very long. So I'm gonna go with this thing being. I lose a lot of map. I lose a lot on this map for whatever reason. I don't think it's all that difficult. Honestly, I'm gonna move Clandestine Gloriana down to challenge a bit fair. I'm gonna put this up here in hell. I don't think it's as difficult as that other one. Oh, and it's definitely not a map I actually want to play. I'm gonna put it over here with Ascension Riser. Both two very long maps with shitty mid events that I do not enjoy, and then shitty end events that just like. Yeah, they're not fun and whatever. So yeah, there you go. And there'll be at least one other sand map that's going to follow it into there. What do we got next? Chasm Station HL1611. I like this map, even if Fatshark are like they just hate fun, I guess, and they don't want me to have any fun because they nerfed my like skip. That like I mean I definitely invented that skip. I definitely didn't steal it from a speedrun that was like years old, but I guess they just decided that isn't allowed anymore. No fun allowed. So, Chasm Station starts out, you know the one. We have to go to the end and get the captain, and it's in the big open, like, after the elevator that goes down, it's in that big open area, you fight the captain. It's one of the two captain fights. The other one you fight in a prison, right? But this one starts out here, and we go across Ye Olde Bridge, all the way over here, and then we go down into the tunnels there, and, you know, once we're into this thing, oh, what do you know, I didn't actually think that this would be on the same level as it, but yeah, there's this hacking event at the mid-event, and this little area here, when you're hacking it, it's, you know, it's the one that's surrounded by, like, all those little metal shrapnel things, little metal shields, and the enemies run up to you, and it's kind of annoying or whatever, but I don't know. I think this map is okay. I honestly think this map is okay. It tends to be kind of fucked in terms of like certain boss and like event spawns and things like that. There are a couple places in this map where the game can kind of lose its mind and just decide that it is going to just destroy you. I don't know what the deal is with that necessarily, but yeah, like outside of that, I don't think it's too problematic. In terms of difficulty or anything. Let me see. Can I? What if I go third person like this? Can I fly? Oh, nice. I can. So maybe I can load the map like this. All right, let's go. Whee! Will this load? Yeah, it will. Nice. Hope if it touches the ground, it doesn't kill me. Yeah, there we go. All right, wait. We gotta press the button here. Where's the button? Uh oh. Well, that's not good. Okay, we'll get back to our body before we get killed. Wait, no, maybe I just crashed the game. Who knows? Anyway, so let's put this thing on here somewhere. Where were we? That was Chasm Station. I think this mission is... I don't think it's all that difficult, honestly, and I kind of like it. I'm gonna put it right here in the center. I feel like really no particular sort of way about it. It's a pretty good map all around. Nothing too bad about it. I'd say it's right in the neutral spot. Warren 619. You can see which one this was right away with the big globule at the end. And then we go through the level as such. This way and down here. So you know the level at this point. And then we go through the airlock here. There we go. And out on this way. And yeah, I actually think this map is pretty cool. I've always really liked these carnival maps. And the mid-event is a little bit boring, like holding out in these rooms and waiting for this fog thing to happen. And waiting for this fog thing to happen also kind of sucks. But it doesn't really overstay its welcome all that much. So no complaints there. As far as the difficulty, that's going to be kind of annoying. So let's go ahead and snap back to reality and then get to our next map, which will be, what will be, Visual Station? Okay, so yeah, we're in 619. As far as difficulty here, I don't feel like it's all that difficult. It's probably here in terms of difficulty. And then I actually kind of do like playing this map. So I'm going to put this one in the maps I actually want to play category and say that it is challenging but fair in terms of difficulty. Now let's pull up Visual Station Oblivion, which is a map that I think in the past I've said that this is like easy. I stand corrected. Fuck this map. This map is really, really, really hard. And it starts out with this big spiral switch back and forth sort of thing that you have to kind of climb up. Let's see if we can get there this time without clipping off of everything. It's like this way. Yeah, here it is. I was going the wrong way. So yeah, this area, and then you go up this thing in here. I hate this area. I hate this, like, inside, climb up this thing. Wait, no, I'm, like, lost already. I don't even know. There we go. I'm gonna pull a demon hose somehow. Yeah, so you go up this way, and then you're up here with this stupid bridge. Yeah, so the problem with that area there is that if anyone dies in there, and you're like halfway up, your next respawn is like over here. And this is just like a death sentence for a lot of groups, getting to this point without running into any problems. And then you have, you know, all this area out here, and you go this way. And honestly, this part isn't that bad. But yeah, this part can be kind of sketchy. But by far, the worst part seems to be for a lot of groups is, where is it? I have to go this way, right? Is that over here? I'm gonna go this way, and then there we go. Okay. By far, for a lot of groups, the part they seem to die at is this. It's doing this event where you have to collect the scanned corpses, and then you go up here, and at the top of the elevator, you'll get ambushed by a bunch of stuff. And so if you didn't die there, a lot of times you're out of resources and you die right here, which sucks because the end of this level is super, super, like, piss easy because it's just doing the hacking thing here that's like, you know, you just extend some bridges and you do some hacks, and it's very, very simple. It's easy and done. However, getting there is an absolute slog. There's so many very, very difficult challenges before you can get to that point. So I'm gonna put this one in terms of like difficulty. This one has gotta be like amongst the hardest missions. It seems to just have like difficult area after difficult area. In terms of whether I want to play it or not, I kind of find it mostly annoying, I feel like. Yeah, that first area with the spiral, like, switchbacks and stuff, it really is, like, annoying. I feel like this map gets drawn out a lot because the spawns are super, super unforgiving. And what you end up having to do is, like, wait a lot. If someone dies, you kind of have to, like, back off and wait. Because if you don't, they're going to get spawned halfway across the fucking map, and you are going to be in a lot of trouble, at least from like a more competitive perspective. And it's just also not that pretty. There's nothing really that fun going on in this level. We've all done the elevator event before because it's just the reverse of the other one. Although this mission really goes to show that like almost all of those tile sets that it has are reused from other maps, right? So like this visual station is like repurposed. Parts of it are repurposed from Magistrati Oubliette, parts of it are repurposed from, what's the other map? I can't remember, but like, yeah, like very easy to reuse big portions of these maps and get like ahead in terms of dev stuff. So I don't know, like it's silly that I feel like that they haven't made any more maps at this point. So you can go up here. This map is very, very difficult. Most teams, also, by the way, this is one of those maps that loses its mind in the first 5 seconds. So when you're on that switchback area, the game can like go absolutely bonkers and spawn a ton of stuff. It can even spawn it before you even start going into that like roundabout. You might not even make it inside the building. Teams will get like filtered out and die before they literally even make it to like the first hurdle in the map, more or less, because like you can get ambushed by the twins off the start of the map. It's crazy. So yeah, this can be very difficult, and it can be like super rippy with those random things like that. Rolling Steel. I don't think I need to show you what Rolling Steel is, and also I just crashed my game. Let's go ahead and say that Rolling Steel, I would say in terms of difficulty, is probably like, I mean, at this point, it's just a cakewalk, honestly. It's pretty fucking hard to lose Rolling Steel at this point, especially if you've got a Skitarii on your team, because they can just hack those things for you for free. And I feel like player damage is so high these days that like the bosses are just getting evaporated, like the boss that spawns in, where you're usually on kind of a time limit. The only challenge I ever see for players on this is like they're just oh, the boss spawned in. Let me just like stare at him and shoot at him with a gun, doing 0 damage, because like those captain shields take 0 damage from guns, and I'm gonna back up without looking where I'm going into the edge of the map and fall off, and then everybody falls off at the same time, and then the last person is like, oh, I'll help you, and they just run over there and grab them without even like thinking about the fact that the captain is just about to like slap them off the edge, and they just like fail. That's the only way I could see failing this. And this is like impossible with like bots too a lot of times for newer players, like if no one's doing the hacking, but Skitari fixes all that. In terms of maps I want to play, I definitely don't want to play this map anymore. This map is super boring. That's got to go in. I'd rather play Expeditions, honestly. This is more or less an Expeditions map when you really think about it, right? It's like the whole of the map is literally just walk in a straight line, hack a thing, and then walk in a straight line and hack a thing, and then fight a boss, and then shoot a thing, and then leave. That's it. That's it. And like, you know, this was, I don't know, man. Like, that was, when did they put that out? I think they put that out right before they did the Dark Communion. So it was like right before their last map, the like last full map they made, and my God, like it makes me worried that like that was like all that they could produce. I mean, I guess it's cool tech that it's kind of like moving or whatever, but it really is not impressive in terms of like actual fun gameplay. Mercantile HL7006 here. The Coliseum maps ends with the big Coliseum fight. The mid event is what? There's no mid event in this one, is there? Yeah, this is the one with no mid event. It's just kind of like it's a bunch of alleyways and stuff. This map is actually a little bit kind of sort of hard at times. It does have an event right at the beginning of this one. This is the one where, let me pull it up here. Mercantile channel 7006. This is the one where right at the beginning, you have like a hack. And I find that if you have a team that is not going to make it, they'll die really early on, which is kind of nice, honestly. Like, you just get to the filter teams that just have no business playing on any given difficulty because they just simply cannot do this area. They just get murdered trying to get through this, and then going down here. The thing I've noticed, though, is that this area right here, when you plant this mine, because this is an unlimited horde, by the way, this is one of only a couple unlimited hordes in the game. When you plant that mine there and go through that wall, the AI director can lose its mind, and it can spawn like a ton of fucking bosses and kill you. So it happened to me like 2 times on my Havoc streams the other day. But this map, other than that, I love the, these are probably my favorite maps to look at. And the street design, I really like all these alternate paths. Like, this area over here isn't very useful, but it's just reused from another map. But I like these alternate paths, and I kind of like the fighting in the street sort of thing. It's very pretty. It's thematic. Yeah, it's really cool. The place that I always rip and die on this map, by the way, is in here. This is like super deadly to me for whatever reason. Don't know why. There's tends to spawn like a million billion bosses there. And then way up here, we have the Honorary Neva door. This is the door that it will literally kill like any boss you put in it. I have no idea why. And yeah, so I mean, this map is pretty cool. Oh, whoa. Okay. You guys didn't know this was here, right? I have never looked over this and looked down here and been like, wait a second, that's literally just Dark Communion, like the event where you hold out and then the boss busts through this door. That's wild. That's so cool. Okay, so like, yeah, even more reason why this shit. What the fuck? This is the drop down thing. That's crazy. Well, I'm learning something about the maps right now. That's so awesome. Oh, I could have showed you that on another map. Okay, well, we can show it to you later because I can teleport the map. Okay, so cool. Yeah, this map is oh, awesome. I'm down here now. Apparently it's a playable area, so maybe you can yeet yourself down here. I thought it would like instantly kill me or something. So yeah, this map is pretty fun, honestly. It's just difficult. I would say it's up here. I would say that it's somewhere in the hell range of difficulty. There's very, very long stretches with no Medicae, no healing in that part where we're going through all those streets and those alleyways. And if you have an early player death in those parts, it can be really, really hard to get your team back. And because the enemies will come from right in front of you and block you out, so that can be pretty tricky. Where was Rolling Steel at? Oops. Hold on, we'll put it back. There was down there. It just got overlapped with. So yeah, that's where I would say it's got some cool parts. I don't love all of it, but I definitely don't love the holdout at the end, by the way, in the stupid Coliseum. That sucks. That's super boring, and it always feels like you're waiting around for a year to find the last, like, lame dude who's hiding. Okay, so from there, we have Relay Station TRS 150, and you might think that based on what I said earlier, I hate sand maps, this is going to go bad. However, I actually like this map. I don't exactly know why. I also find that this map is very, very, very easy. This one, however, does have a fatal flaw. So this puts me in kind of a weird predicament. Because I find that this map, once you reach the mid-event, which is this giant fan blade that you have to like shut down the fan blade, once you reach that, a lot of times it just feels like it's just a free win, more or less. So let me show you here. So you go this way, you go down the elevator here, you come out here, and then you open this door, and then this is the problem. Right here in this hallway, the game will lose its mind. It will spawn so much stuff, and you'll have a million billion bosses crowding you out of this hallway. So most times where I lose this map, it's because there's an insurmountable crazy amount, this might be a Havoc only issue, I don't know, but there's an insurmountable crazy amount of stuff that's swarming into these hallways from both directions. It'll spawn like 4 bosses on you at a time right off the start of the map. It'll absolutely go crazy, and I have no idea why that is. So a lot of the times when I'm playing this map, even though it's really easy, once you get past this first area, it just like kills you straight out the gate. But if you can get past that, you got this area here, and then all you got to do is get down into this event. And once you're past this event, this is a cakewalk. Like this map is not hard. Oh god, I ran through the fan blades. Ugh. Wait, no, did I just crash the game again? Who knows? But yeah, Relay Station, not hard past that point. However, getting to that point is a little bit difficult. That first part is kind of fucked. So, shoot, I guess I'll put it in the challenge but fair category. I don't think it's definitely not. And the end event, by the way, the end event where you have to like go up the thing to the satellite, or not satellite, but like the relay thing at the top and break the little pustules. That's super like boring and bland and really easy. As far as, I'd say it has a couple cool parts. I'd say it's hell difficulty in terms of, no, I'd say it's challenging but fair. I'd say it's right here. This is definitely one of the easier ones to win in Havoc. It only has a couple of pinch points where the game can really mess with you, right at the start there and right after the drop down behind the fan blade thing that I just threw myself through, not even thinking about the fact that it would be insta-death. So that's what you want to do there. I wonder if there's a way I can make myself vulnerable in these. Who knows? I don't care. All right, let's do Refinery Delta 17, which is going to end up in the shit because I hate this fucking map. This map is maybe my least favorite in the entire game. Really, really, really hate this map. It's super glitchy. It's super fucked. It's super like difficult. It's ugly to boot, and you know you gotta pick like 1 or 2, right? So this map starts with this area right here, and already we're off to like a massive fucked start. This area sucks. Then you go up this elevator, and this is where you have this up here, and then you do this drop down here, and you're out here, and this is where you realize that, oh my god, every room I'm going to go into is going to be 1 bajillion light years long and have shooters on the other side of it, and they're going to be really, really annoying and all that stuff. Plus, it's like, sand, and I hate sand. Then we go up this way, and you have a very annoying mid-event, which is, where is it? Gotta make my way to it. Is it up here? Looking around. Gonna find it. I'm like lost. Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. Wait, we're back on the map. Hold on. We're searching. It's this way. Here we go. I know the way. Yeah, this mid-event, where you have to go and like pop the pustules over on this side, and then pop them over on that side to get the elevator to work. And it always seems like this is like impossible to get teams to coordinate on. And then past this, we're not getting any easier yet, because this map is just straight hard all the way through. Wait, where's the off of the elevator? Is it one of these? Trying to show you the favela area that's super cursed. Let's see. This is the entrance to the elevator, so it goes up to where? To here? Oh, here it is. Oh god, I just killed myself again. But yeah, this area here, it's that big open favela area. It's the inverse of Relay Station TRS 150, where you go down, and the area after is super difficult as far as getting through it. This map is really, really hard. Is what I'm trying to say with all that. This map is super hard. It has a ton of bugs on Havoc, where the game can and will rip like you know, wins away from you by spawning in bosses and spawning in... The spawns are super distant in certain parts as well. It also have, like, bugged demon host spawns, and you'll get thrown off the ledge by barrels and shit. Yeah, I really don't like this map. I really, I don't know if that's clear enough. I really don't like this map. I hate how it looks, and it also ends with the worst end event in the entire game, this one right here. You see the one I'm talking about? It has the one where you plant the little things on all the pressure cells, and then you have to wait for them to hack. There's 4 of them, and each one of them takes like 2 minutes. This end event is so boring, and it also can kill you, because the end event on this one has no cover, and you're just running around this shitty like metal platform where enemies are spawning on every side of you and shooting at you with zero like cover, zero protection, and it's all small shooters. There's literally no interesting bosses or anything to fight. It's just a patience test. So I definitely have to put this in terms of like fun and stuff. This is going up here, I think, with Silo Cluster. Maybe not as quite as difficult as Silo Cluster. Silo Cluster is like fucked in terms of difficulty. That's a crazy, crazy difficult map, but it's definitely close. Yeah, there we go. And definitely, wait, no, hold on. That would be this, right? Definitely no fun, but not as difficult. Wait, hold on. I gotta read my own map. It's no fun. There we go. It's right here with these two. Yeah, of course it's right with Excise Fall. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's no fun, but it's also like almost as difficult as Silo Cluster, but Silo Cluster's harder. No Man's Land. I like No Man's Land a lot. I would say that No Man's Land is a map that I actually want to play, and it's probably, I don't know, I say it's challenging but fair. Like, there's a couple of times where your whole team can fall off like a ledge for no reason. I don't know why they did that, but you know, it's not that bad. Like, it's got pretty reasonable respawns. It's an operations map, so it's kind of short. It can't roll in Havoc or anything, so I don't end up playing it that much. I'll rant about that after the video, but like, yeah, the maps like that just make me like sad, you know? It's like, it just makes me sad that they just haven't like made more maps. It's such an obviously like beautiful piece of art, and it tells a story, and they did voice acting, and they put all that effort into the designs and the terrain and stuff, and that's all they could come out with, and that's all they've had in, you know, 6 months or so. Like, we didn't even get like a follow-up with Skitari for anything. It feels really bad that that's like all they can muster after like basically like more than a year of work. It's just one half of a map. It's sad. Anyway, Chasm Logistratum, one of the OGs. Okay, vacuum capsule guys, right? Are you a left train or right train Chad? Like, comment down below. And the left train, obviously, is the right thinking man's way to do it. I've literally never done it any other way. I don't know why it is. I guess because like the natural bend of that thing that you come out on tells you to go to the left. However, I actually want to play this map. However, it is super fucking hard. This map is crazy, crazy hard. It's got like challenging area after challenging area. It's like you get about halfway through this thing, and you've already been through some really, really tough zones, including like the mid-event. For whatever reason is kind of like lethal for players here sometimes. But then you get into those like sort of foggy sewers, and you can get ambushed. And let me show you here, Chasm Logistratum. So yeah, this map, you can get ambushed in those sewers, and that is where teams die. That is where teams die, and those sewers go on forever. I wish there was a way I could like teleport halfway through the level to that, but I guess I just have to fly my little wings there. Let's go. So yeah, first of all, this bridge here is really, really fucking hard. Where is it? Here. This is hard. This is really hard. This will kill a lot of teams just getting this far. And then you go this way, and this area is really fucking hard, and this will kill a lot of teams because they'll get ambushed up there or whatever. And then this event is really freaking hard, and you can get killed here. And then going down here into the sewers, if you don't like get lost and clip through the floor or whatever, yeah, going down here is really hard. This is where a ton of teams die, is in here. And then you go down here, and this part is super freaking hard, and like it's super disorganized, and you'll like lose your whole team in there. And then finally you're like finally it gets a little bit easier because you get into this fucking area, and this is the most cursed area of the entire thing. This hallway here is so fucked. I don't know what it is about this hallway. I think it's like the thing I was saying earlier. The floor is so uneven in here. It's like every little pixel on the floor is catching your feet and shit, and it's just, there's enemies coming from all directions, and just when you think you're done, you have to do this room, and this entrance here is horrible. It's horrifying. It's just so fucking, this room is, I have died more times in this room at the very end of this run than probably any other map, like in the last, like, you know, 10% of the map. This has the most lethal last hurdle of any map, I would say. And then like the train event on its own is not really generally that bad anymore. But yeah, this thing very difficult, but I do really like this map. I've always liked it. I like the design of it. It's challenging, and it very much fits with the Darktide theme, but it can kind of piss me off sometimes, but I do like it. Smelter Complex is another one that I do kind of be liking. Not as much as this, though. This thing has that very infamous end event. You know the one. You can see it right there, right? You can see the furnace thing that they have redone so that you can actually trigger it and get out of there a little bit faster. That can take teams a while. It can be a very deadly end event. However, getting there is not all that crazy or scary. This one just kind of feels like roughly the same difficulty all the way through, but it is a little bit of a higher difficulty. It's definitely on the hell tier of difficulty. I also don't really like that it's like super fire focused the entire time. I kind of like a cooler color palette. I don't know what that is, but let's see here. I like Clandestine Gloriana. I like the cool color palette of, you know, No Man's Land and Warren, which is like, well, I guess it has reds in there, but it's also got some greens. But Smelter Complex, just a little bit too warm feeling for me, so no thank you. Power Matrix, though, I really love this map. However, it can be a fucking bitch at times. So Power Matrix, this is one of the maps that I was speaking about earlier that has the potential to lose its mind. I was playing with Reginald the other night on the stream, and we were trying to do some duos in this map, and he had Silo Cluster, which is, you know, there, so we're not fucking doing that, right? But Power Matrix is equal parts fucked, because in that first area, and you'll see it here once I load in a second, the first area in this map is another one of those areas where it can lose its mind and spawn a ton of bosses out of nowhere. And just like other maps that I really hate in this game, the first area in this map, it to me is like doing the cardinal sin, which is having fucked up floors and like really nowhere to move. Like the floors are just super nonsensical, tiny little areas. There's very little room to actually do any combat in, and it feels just like shitty. The map fixes itself after that. It like opens up, and it gets way better. Like this map turns into some of the more enjoyable areas in the game, and I like the areas it forces on you. There's some very challenging ones in here. But let me show you. So yeah, you go this way, you go up here, you open the door, blah, blah, blah. You go through here, maybe move it a little bit fast. Then you go down here, and this area in here, this area is so stupid. I hate this freaking area so bad. Yeah, because this is where it'll spawn all those bosses, and like there's all this like junk area where you can't really be because it's 1 foot wide and there's a death drop on the other side, and then you get stuck here and there's just ladders and nonsense. But once you get down here, we get back to like kind of a more normal level design, and this is way better. This is definitely way better once you get out here, although this is really hard now that I'm like kind of like thinking it out in my brain. And then this area here is pretty cool. I've always liked this little spot. I like the little industry thing. But once you get out here, can I teleport? Yeah, I can. Nice. Yeah, this is the hardest area in this map. I will say that hands down. This is easily the hardest area in this map. Reason being is because when you're down here on the bottom floor, enemies will drop down from above and they'll get you, and they'll make this part a hell. So the way I found to sort of circumvent that is get upstairs as fast as possible, get around here, and then get all the way upstairs to up here, where we're going to go all the way up, and then we're going to get to a pretty cool event, which is this event, where we hold out and we slot the power cells into the thing here. And then I love the end event on this map. The actual, I'm going to die again, aren't I? The actual end event on this map is very, very enjoyable, where you're slotting the power cells into the coolant core. That's one of my favorite end events in the whole game, because it keeps with that trend I was saying earlier, where if you do it really well, and I'm pretty damn good at the end event on Power Matrix, I will say, you can get the event done super fast if you're coordinated, and I think that's a really cool design for maps. So in terms of difficulty, this is a really difficult map. Hell tier, But I think this is a map that I actually do want to play from time to time. I think this is the map that I'm excited to play because it much like Clandestine Gloriana, it kind of tells a story, right? Like you're going through this place, you're getting closer to the cryogenic like core thing, and you got to like boot it up and get it all powered back up for power. That's kind of cool. Consignment Yard. This is a very like boring map. It also tends to lose its mind at the beginning a little bit. I don't know. This one's kind of like mostly annoying to me. Let's pop it open here and show you show you some of that. Consignment Yard, it ends with that big, I mean, we'll see it here. Where is it? Consignment Yard, play normal game. So it ends with this area here, this big open area where you have to like hack these three, or you just press buttons on these three terminals, and then you just kind of wait. You just kind of hold out in this super open area. And this is another map where you like rip in that open area and people will die at the last second because they go down here, like down this bottom area, and they hold out and they get shot to death and die, and that sucks. But yeah, I can't really think about anything too crazy in this map that's like really jumping out at me as being super dangerous. This is a map that has, now that I'm thinking about it, this map has actually quite a lot of like bespoke stuff in it. Like there's not a whole lot of shared elements, I say as I'm going into the room that has shared elements, because this one is shared with, what is this? Foundry complex, right? This shares this one. This one also has this middle area. I really like this area. They redid this area for no reason. I don't know why. I guess they decided like this wasn't completely done, so they came back in here and gave this a graphical overhaul, and it looks very, very beautiful. Like this is a very cool part of the level. It definitely is really, really nice. And then you have this mid event down here that I think is a little bit boring, but hey, at least it's not like super over difficult, where you hack this thing and you wait for this. That's actually a very boring event. And then we wrap up by going over here somewhere with the coming back through here and going out here, and then finally we are outside with the trains. And yeah, there we go. And there's the end of the mission right there. So yeah, overall, this mission is, I don't think it's all that difficult. I'd say it's challenging but fair tier. And in terms of if I like playing this thing, I think it's mostly annoying to me. I think this one is mostly annoying to me. I think, honestly, in terms of the fun factor here, the fun factor is pretty low. Because, yeah, there's just, like, not a whole lot of, like, really good fights to be had in this spot. I tend to find that you end up like holding out in spots at tight chokes over and over and over again in this map, like in the shower section right before the forge. The forge itself is quite boring in terms of waiting for enemies to come in one of two spawn doors over and over and over again for an hour. And then the end event is just pressing some buttons and waiting, and that's also boring. So yeah, that it doesn't get any points for being exciting or clawing that back. Now, we are on to a very good one here, Dark Communion. I love Dark Communion. This is the last map, the last full map that they ever created, and maybe ever will create, and this is such a cool map. As we just found out a second ago, apparently we can just like hop into it randomly from up top. So yeah, this Dark Communion map, in terms of its difficulty, this feels like this is like the standard difficulty for a map. I don't really ever feel like I've had too many issues with this. This one also does have that issue of losing its mind at the very first part of the map. Let me show you what that looks like here. Make certain that I am tied to my character before I do that. And yeah, so Dark Communion does have a bit of a way of hitting some AI psychosis and killing you like right out the gate. But if you can make it past that, this map is pretty enjoyable. This map also has a mid-event that is pretty cool, where you are just like holding out and fighting. There's no other objective. It's not like wait for the stupid thing to hack or whatever. It's like actually a pretty good fight. This right here, so this area right here can and will for some reason just kill your ass. It's like when you are here, it's fine, but as soon as you get to here, the game spawns a whole crap ton of shit, and you'll get like 4 bosses that are trying to kill you, and then they'll spawn back here as well. This may be a like issue only on Havoc, but yeah, this map is very commonly losing its mind and trying to kill you right out the gate. However, if you can make it past that, you end up in a pretty cool map. You know, it's like the last carnival map, and it goes out here, which is a shared area, and then you go up this way, and then you go down to the sewers, into the original pit down here, and then you're in the sewers here, where it's far too dark for what it is. I like this map a lot. So yeah, I will give this thing a a pretty respectable score. I'm going to give it that it's a challenging but fair, and this is a map I actually want to play. Yeah, this is definitely a map I actually want to play. I like that one as much. Here's another one I actually kind of like as well. Interesting though, finding so many of these. Magistrati Oubliette. Now, this map is harder. This map is definitely harder. So Magistrati Oubliette starts out in the sewers. The whole first part of this mission I find is like super hyper fucked. Like getting to that mid-mission big platform where you wait for the spiral stair to like descend. That part is really, really hard. You go through like the sewers and it's all yucky, and there's a bunch of shooters that can reach you from like forever far away, and then you go into that platform and there's even more shooters and there's like dudes dropping in your head. I hate that part. That part, well, I don't really hate it, but like, it's difficult. It's really, really hard. A lot of teams will frag out there. However, if you make it past it, you make it into this part of the map. And yeah, once you're there, this is way better in terms of like ease of play. And I like this map pretty much all the way through. Also, this has a stupid easy end event because it's that captain who spawns in like a 10 by 10 room with a bunch of prison cells, and you just obliterate him instantly because he's definitely not scaled for how powerful characters are these days. So in terms of difficulty, this one is up here. I think this one does have a couple of cool parts. I don't think it's like a map I actually want to play a lot of times, but it has a couple of cool parts, but it is definitely on the more difficult side, although way less difficult than some of these up here. Archivum Sycorax, baby. All right, Archivum Sycorax. Many of you might know, but if you're new to the game, this is considered by many to be the easiest map in the game. The reason that Archivum Sycorax is so easy is because it has a big portion of the map that is like these little switchback hallways where you're going through like flashing red rooms and stuff like that. And those missions, or that part of the mission, like really can't spawn anything challenging. And then after that, there's only a couple rooms before you're kind of done. It's a pretty dang short map overall, just kind of like TRS 150 is a really short map. So there's really not too much room for the enemies to fuck with you, and most of the engagements are pretty simple. This is a great one if you get this to just get an easy win on Havocon. Generally, this is very, very low in terms of challenge I've found. So this is definitely in the cakewalk. Probably going to be one of the only maps that's down here. In terms of whether or not I want to play it, it's got a couple of cool parts, I think. I think that's what I'd say. The end event where you go around and hack the things is okay, I guess. And then this one has, what is it? Oh, and the mid event for this is just going through those like siloed doors. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's got a couple of cool parts. There's not really too much to write home about here. It's not annoying though. So yeah, I'll give it like just kind of a milquetoast in terms of the fun, but it's just very easy. And I think that does subtract some fun for me. Enclave and Barros, on the other hand. Oh god, I hate this map. This map is, first of all, this is one of those maps that is completely seed dependent. And by that, I mean, if this game decides to spawn a bunch of ranged enemies on you, you're going to have like just the worst time. You're just going to have a terrible, terrible time. Let me show you why. So on Enclave and Barros, this is one of the two throne side maps, and it's like outside, right? You get a ton of distance for enemies to shoot you. So immediately you have these like long narrow hallways, and this time it spawned a bunch of like melee guys, but if it spawns ranged guys, you're absolutely fucked, because this area out here will be chock full of those little bastards. They'll be like slammed wall to wall out here, and it's horrible. It's just so horrible dealing with all of them. The other part that really sucks about this particular map is that if for some crazy reason someone on your team dies and you're like anywhere around here, well, here's a respawn point right here, right? And the next respawn point is right here. But guess what? This respawn point doesn't fucking work. I don't know where you have to be to get someone to respawn here, but it doesn't seem to work anymore. They'll respawn here at the fucking midpoint. So what happens is, if you're like me and you get unlucky enough to die literally standing right here, and your team is standing right here when you respawn, you're not getting respawned right here, Buster. You're getting respawned all the way up here at the freaking bridge. And by the way, that's through like no less than 4 different boss spawns. So you're just sitting out waiting for like 10 minutes. This section here where you have to reload these batteries in here, because this is an infinite horde until you slot those batteries and put the bridge down, this part just kills groups. You'll be here for 20 minutes. I swear. It's like literally no joke. You'll be there all day. And then beyond that, it's kind of just long from that point on towards the end of the mission. I don't know. The first half of this map is ripped. There's so many groups. I feel like I barely ever see the latter half. The latter half is generally pretty easy, but yeah, that first half is super rip. and I don't necessarily love it all that much. So, in terms of difficulty, this one is definitely this one is a hell would be preferable thing, I think. Honestly, this is a mostly annoying map to me. Hell would be preferable. It just tends to fuck with me so much with those gunner seeds where everything is full of gunners and the respawn points are so far away. Oh yeah, by the way, that bridge point, right? If you're on that bridge and you're slotting those batteries in to put the bridge down, if you've got the bridge down or you've got the batteries in and like the bridge is going down and it goes down and that event ends, but you haven't yet moved across the bridge, if someone dies there, it'll respawn them on the other side of the bridge instead of right there where you already were, where you were literally just doing the event, and then you're going again to have to rescue them, and it's probably through a bunch of like super dangerous death zones, and you're going to throw the run on the spot. That map is also like very, very guilty of having a ton of like twin ambush spots or like boss ambush spots where they'll like surprise you in the worst possible scenario. And it's also incredibly, incredibly open, which means that pox bombers and stuff are going to annoy the shit out of you. Comsplex. Comsplex. This map, this one's kind of cool. It's a couple of cool parts. It's a little bit difficult. This one and this one, obviously very similar. They are both this the throne side tile set. So Comsplex here is the one that ends with you have to like hack those things, and then the big satellite dish turns green, and you send off the message or whatever it is. It's not like particularly difficult, at least in that latter part. I'm trying to think if there's any difficult parts early on. Let's see here. We go this way. This is another one of those maps where like I find oftentimes like right out the gate, like your teams can just die. So here's another one with like fuck spawns. So yeah, this is the area you're in. If your team if you die, the first respawn on the map is here. So if you happen to die way back here, your team has to go this way, fight all these enemies, get up here, fight all these enemies, and then get to you here, and then yeah, then you can respawn. But like if you die like up here somewhere, and your team isn't all the way down this floor when you respawn, you're respawning here, and that can be like a death sentence, which really sucks. But yeah, you can see this is the inverse of Enclave and Barros, and then you go all this way, and this one has that mid-event elevator, where it's that room where you gotta like turn the power on, and that room kills a lot of runs. I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that like the other side of the room, it fills up with gunners. And so, like, teams don't know what to do when this is happening. I'll show you the room, right? It's this room right here. So, yeah, this room, like, teams will be cowering back here, and they'll be doing the hacking thing. Granted, this is better than now that this guitar exists. But then gunners, like, this area force spawns gunners, so they'll all come in here, and they'll fill up all these little covers and stuff, and then they'll just be shooting the shit out of you. And then teams, they can't seem to, like, get their shit together and get out of here. And the worst case thing is they go and they get baited to do the hell station, and they die before they make it out alive. And then you wrap up with some of this area here, which is I always like this kind of designed area. So in terms of difficulty, not all that difficult. Probably like a standard difficulty. I do find this map kind of a little bit annoying though, just for those number of like broken respawns. I don't know. I think this one's fine. No, but I don't like it as much as Chasm Stage and stuff. Okay, yeah, it's definitely gonna go here. It's probably just like a challenging but fair difficulty map. The only real point that I really see players like super struggling at here is getting across that bridge and then doing this stupid elevator event. But past that, it usually seems like it's okay. It's probably right about where this is here. So yeah, I feel about the same way there. And oh, we're on the last one. Oh, it's Hab Draco. So Hab Draco, I mean, we all know the one, right? It's got the phage tree at the end. And the most notable thing about Hab Draco is it opens up with a bridge, like a little bit of a bridge scene. And then past that, though, it's not really much anything to point out. So yeah, check this out. Hab Draco, it opens up. That's not the right one. About to get clapped by somebody, aren't I? Hab Draco opens up with the open bridge that's on Chasm Logistratum. You fly through it from the other direction, and yeah, this area here, very difficult for a lot of players for whatever reason. It's getting here and then getting down here. Teams die like right here all the freaking time. That's pretty hard. But once you get up here and get into this airlock, this whole middle section of the map, this is just a freebie. This is literally just a freebie. All you have to do is walk around here and scan stuff up. And there you go. Like, this is the mid event, and it's a big portion of like your traversal in the map, and it really does not, like, it's almost never challenging at all. The challenge is on the other side of it, because you have to do this little switchback here, which is very tight quarters, and a lot of times if stuff can ambush you. And this area here, this is like the last area where teams will really die, is right there. Oh, and this is what I wanted to point out. So yeah, I just ledged myself, but I paused the game so it wouldn't crash. But yeah, check this out. So yeah, when you're here on this particular area in this map, you know the one, you come up the spiral stairs here. So you come up here and you go this way, and you're out here, and this is like scary, and there's me falling. But also, if you look down here, this is the mid event on what's it called? On Chasm Station Terminus. So yeah, you have the like little hacky tower in the center there where you hack it and you do that. So that's it. That's pretty cool. I never noticed that. And you can also see this area up here when you're on Chasm Station Terminus. So that's pretty fun. And then the end is with the phage tree, of course. So yeah, the phage tree is kind of really fucking annoying. However, Skitarii exists now, and Skitarii can just automatically do it for you, which is nice. This event also, this map also has something that I really like. Sometimes when it doesn't ruin my runs, but this event actually has like an escape sequence where you've done the objective and then the mission's not over. You don't immediately just go get in the plane. You have to get through one final gauntlet, which can be pretty hectic. Like, the players can get downed. You can be like, oh no, we're gonna lose the last second. That feels cool. I like that feeling a lot better than these missions where it's like, wow, we completed the objective and that the plane just literally landed right beside us. Cool. Like, that sucks. So in terms of difficulty, this is one of the easiest maps in the game, I would say. It just has like one, maybe 1.5 difficult sections. You get a whole freebie midsection of the game, and then just holding out. Players have gotten a lot better at it over time. Yeah, I would say it's probably close to Cakewalk. It's not nearly as easy as Archive, not quite, but it's pretty dang close. And so I'll still put it down here in Cakewalk. And in terms of wanting to play it, I'd still say it's pretty annoying. I'd still say it's kind of annoying to play, just because I don't like all that walking around and scanning at the midsection. It takes fucking forever, and then you also have to wait on the stupid phage tree forever. Yeah, just a lot of standing around waiting, you know, or not even, like, just scanning and waiting and like looking around, and that's just boring and sucks. So yeah, that maybe not my favorite level as far as the events and the fun factor, but definitely really easy. If you can get past like the first initial hurdle of the map, you pretty much got it in the bag, is what I'd say. So there you go. That is my current layout. So if you're wondering, you know, why players don't want to play Silo Cluster, now you know. Like, Silo Cluster is considered very, very difficult, as is Vigil Station. That one is absolutely brutal off the cuff, and then Chasm Logistratum is also up there. And then the other ones that I really detest are these maps here. These three are some of the longest maps in the game, and they are filled with all sorts of like brutal rooms that can just be super punishing. And yeah, but down here we got a good number of maps. This is where I like it. You know, these maps here, I'm fine with these, and these are a little more difficult, but they're still pretty fun. This is where I want my maps to be on this side of things, right? Getting up here, no thank you as much, but down here, this is where I want to play these maps. And overall, I mean, what I really want to say is, like, where the fuck are the maps, dude? This is what frustrates me when I'm talking about this, is I've been playing this game for, what, almost 5 years now or something like that? 4 or 5 years? And we haven't had an actual full-length map since Dark Communion was released, and this was in December of 2024, right? Alongside Havoc, I want to say. So yeah, that's really, really disappointing to me that they haven't been able to get their stuff together. I understand they've been doing classes and things like that, but like, that's really not an excuse. And I'm to the point where I really don't want any more classes at this point. I really just want them to get back to maps, because as you can see here, you know, even just me flying through this just now, I get an appreciation for, like, okay, these maps are really well designed, they're beautiful, and they tell like stories, and they have cool engagements and challenging areas, and they make for memorable, like, the fact the maps are good in this game, they make the fights memorable, right? They define the fights, which I really like. And it just kills me that when I'm looking at these maps, so many of them have reused elements because they're like tile sets where they can just be reconfigured, and I'm just thinking, like, how open and receptive players would be to just some more reconfigurations of those tile sets, right? Like, if you literally just chop these up and stitch them together in a slightly different way, it would just revolutionize the game for players, and that's what they could do, right? You see those areas where I go into a loading door and it loads the next portion of the map, right? Just have it load a different portion, just turn an element around and have you come in from a different direction. That's what half these maps have, is like you join into an already existing tile from like a T intersection or whatever. I just really want them to make more maps in whatever way they can, and it kills me when I see also like No Man's Land being released, which, albeit you know, a pretty cool piece of content. It's like, okay, they made all these assets for what? Like, they have given no inkling they're going to be returning to this concept. They did a bunch of voice acting and stuff for it, and it's like, and they were being like, wow, this is our, you know, we did a lot of work to make this thing. It's like, really? Like, it's not very long. So like, I'm glad you did work, but like, you know, you need to make like actual full length content for people. And this is, you know, this won't be that applicable to a lot of the new players who've just joined, but it's definitely something that me and a lot of old timers get kind of irritated with. Is like, this stuff is like the exact same stuff we've been playing with for literally years. And especially like, you know, there were only 4 maps I think that were released after the game came out. We're not counting the operations, so they're not those 2. But Dark Communion was the last map. Then before that was Clandestine Gloriana, and then before that there was a pair of, oh no, sorry, they released like Enclave and Barros and Comsplex like the month after the game released, and Ascension Riser. These were clearly stuff that they had like in the barrel as they were delivering the game. And then these ones, the Carnival maps, released a little bit after that, like within like 6 months or 9 months of the game coming out. But yeah, it's just been so interminably long, and it sucks to have to play the same ones over and over again, even though I do like some of them. And it even sucks worse when you're a Havoc player, because they only allow a certain number of them in there for a certain rotation. That sucks too. Anyway, I don't know. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, just really wish there was a lot more maps, because maps are fun, and they kind of are like what colors Darktide and makes it feel like the experience it is outside of the combat. So get to it, Fat Shark. That's my words to you. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was at least entertaining, and I'll see you next time. Mr. Ria. Bye-bye.